Hi, my name is J.R. Cali, Junior Calisthenics, and if you hear wind, my AC is fighting for its life right now, trying to keep my apartment from freezing because it's minus 11. And if my appearance appears disheveled, it's because I woke up at 2, and then I woke up at 4, and then I just stopped trying, and I was just like, Sigma grind set. I might as well be productive in here. So this video, the idea popped in my head. It was from a comment, and I told him I'd make a video about it. So here's the video. It's how to avoid paralysis by analysis when working out, trying to pick out the perfect routine, how to stop program hopping, and kind of just how to basically stick to a routine in order to get the benefits before you program hop again. First thing, people tend to program hop for like 2 reasons. They see something on Instagram that looks pretty cool, or they see a podcast, or they kind of just, it's related to FOMO. FOMO is just the fear of missing out. So they see something and they're kind of like respectfully, as like a child, we're just like, oh my God, that's so cool. I want to try that instead. And they just dump the whole program out and just follow the fun looking and cool one, which I've done hundreds of times, yeah. And it also goes into you being impatient. A lot of the program hopping is in relation to trying to find out what's so-called optimal, when in reality, optimal doesn't really exist. And I talk about that in a sense of there is no optimal thing or routine for everybody. It's only what's optimal for you. So how to stop paralysis by analysis, because it can get overwhelming trying to figure out, like, should I do a 5x5 split? Should I do a 10x10 on everything endurance? Should I do a little bit of everything? Should I do just skill training for a little bit? Do I just do strength training? And typically the people who ask that are like beginner to intermediate. And the great thing about that is the fact that it calms them down when I say this, but it's just that no matter what decision you pick, it'll be the right one. Literally, since you're starting out and since you're new, you don't know what works out for your body. So you might as well try everything. Now, what people tend to do is that they'll use that as like an excuse to program hop, but I'll say this, to know when it's justifiable to switch programs after a certain amount of time, I would personally say 1 to 2 months, 3 months preferably, honestly. But it's 6 to 8 weeks, I'd say it's valid, but at least 1 to 2 months of consistently trying out the routine, because that's like, you can't really say you followed a program, because it's like saying, oh yeah, I was on a diet, and then you followed it for a week, and then you're just like, oh yeah, the diet didn't work out for me. It's like, you didn't even give it time to like process. So I'd say give it time, actually put in consistent work, at least 6 to 8 weeks. I would prefer 3 months, but if not, I understand. The routine and the program you should be following should be something in relation to what's optimal to you, such as you may not have time to do a 4-way split, or you may not be able to work out 5 to 6 or 4 times a week. It'll depend on what are your goals. The way that people look at them is just like how they get their goals is far more important than achieving the goal itself. Okay, let's say you have a goal. The goal is to grow your arms. Let's say that specifically. The way to get grow your arms is not as important as you think it is. People, let's just switch the analogy of arms and switch it to a grocery store. Stay with me. You want to get to the grocery store. You want to get bigger arms. The way to get to the grocery store and bigger arms doesn't really matter. So the way I get to the grocery store, I can get there on a bicycle, on a fancy Italian car. I can go there in a crappy Honda. I can go in a Chevy. I can go in a Hellcat. I can go into any one of these vehicles. I can go on a bicycle. Like I said, you can go in any of these vehicles, but the most important thing is that you get to the destination. Some of these vehicles, or the ways that you, aka routines and training regimens that you use to get to the grocery store, that'll very much depend on like one, if you can afford it, are you able to? How long are you willing to wait? Like, obviously, the vehicle or the car is gonna get you to the grocery store way faster than a bicycle. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter if you get there in a freaking Lambo or a Bugatti, Andrew Tate. It doesn't really matter how you get there. What matters is that you freaking get there. And the way that you get there is depending on what's available to you and what you can use to get there. So I want to get a better planche. Okay? That's the grocery store. How do I get planche? Okay, let's say grease in the groove. That's a way to get there. Let's call that the Lambo way. There's the Bugatti. That's the way where I just train strength training and I just attempt it. And then there's a regular bicycle where I just do it randomly a few times a week. You know, all of these are efficient ways for certain people on what's optimal in their lifestyle. So you need to try any and everything, but give it a actual good try for what I said, 4 to 6 weeks. I prefer 3 months. And then you can give it a fair estimate on saying, you know what, this part of the program really worked out for me. I'm gonna keep that thing. The other stuff, nah. And so that's where another part where you gotta take notes. Try to literally be very meticulous in your notes. If you didn't sleep well that day, if you didn't eat enough, if you feel like you didn't rest long enough between sets, take all that into consideration and, you know, really try to enjoy the fact that you are learning basically what works for your body, because now you're going to have more knowledge for the next program that's going to help you be better. And don't worry about what's the maximum optimal time, because if everything was perfect, we would reach our peak in like 5 years. So, you know, there's people that have been training for 20 plus and they're still not at, because just life's just not perfect. So, you know, take your time, don't rush it. You'll get there when you get there. And yeah, hope the video helps. See ya.